deep dive into the complex world of civil military affairs.
We'll address the politicization of the military, defense policy in the news, and the importance of staying informed in a democracy.
Join us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts as we explore how our professional military institution relates to the society it serves.
All right, we're back with Laura Washington. Our next segment are Chicago hot takes. So I'm going to start us off here. Favorite Chicago neighborhood, excluding where you live?
Ooh, Chinatown. It's probably the fastest growing neighborhood in the city, and there's a lot of good eating there.
That's news to me.
Yeah.
Not the good eating part, but the growing part.
It's growing. I mean, it's taken over parts of Pilsen and some of the Latino neighborhoods adjacent to it.
Interesting. Best bookstore in Chicago.
Unabridged, which is on Broadway in the Lakeview area. It's been around for probably 30, 35 years. It's a small neighborhood bookstore. It's cool.
Your favorite Chicago restaurant?
Well, that's an easy one. Yoshi's, which is also in my neighborhood, Yoshi's Cafe, which has been there for 46 years, which is an amazing feat for any restaurant. It's an Asian fusion French thing that has some sushi but has some steak, and it's a real neighborhood icon because it's in the middle of Boys Town, and it was there before Boys Town was there, but Boys Town has embraced it, and it's the only restaurant, I believe, anywhere on that strip on Halstead that's not gay-owned.
Most valuable Chicago news source besides, of course, the Sun-Times.
Well, you're going to get me in trouble with this one because I have friends everywhere. I would say Block Club, which is brand new but not so brand new. It was previously the DNA Info, and they're doing an incredible job of covering what makes Chicago so great, its neighborhoods.
And for listeners, how do they access Block
It's
Club?
online, blockclub.org, and they're a subscription-based, a donor-based, subscription-based news site. So they're raising money by getting people who love DNA Info and wanted it to come back to subscribe, and they've been very successful at that. They're also getting support from foundations and corporate donors as well, but they're totally independent and not beholden to anybody but the neighborhoods.
What issue do you think Chicagoans should be paying more attention to?
The invisible community out there, the homeless. They shouldn't be invisible because they're everywhere in our community, but we just sort of take for granted that homelessness is a problem that we can't solve and that it's going to always be there. And I think that there needs to be more attention paid to that. And I think one of the debates that I'm not hearing enough about in this campaign is around affordable housing, because I think the lack of affordable housing is a direct cause of homelessness in this city.
What issue do Chicagoans pay too much attention to?
Corruption. And I hate to say that because I'm not a fan of corruption. I'm not favoring corruption, but it's our media, and I could include myself in this category. We're so cynical and so skeptical that everything that happens every day of the week in City Hall and in government, there's always a suspicion that there's something evil or nefarious behind it, and not everything is corrupt. And most government officials, the vast majority of them, are trying to do the right thing. And I think that our cynicism kind of overshadows, and I think it discourages people. I think one of the reasons why I'm so happy to see 14 people running for mayor is because I don't want people to become discouraged about being public servants, and the way the media beats up on public servants all the time, that could happen.
I have one last quick question. So it's almost spring, hopefully, in Chicago. I just want to ask, what are you looking forward to most about Chicago in the spring or summer?
Well, the thing I love about the city in the summer more than anything else is our festivals. Because we're a city of neighborhoods, we have an incredible network and rich culture of festivals. I think part of it is because we only get 3 good months to be outside and have fun. So we overdo it, but overdoing it is good. So I have a whole long list of neighborhood festivals that I never miss, and I can't wait for the next 3 or 4 months before we'll get to that.
Do you have a favorite festival you'd recommend listeners check out, especially if they want to get out of their neighborhood?
I like the Market Days, which is, again, in my neighborhood. It's sort of becoming almost a gay festival, but it's That's because it runs along North Halsted Street in Boys Town. But that's a big party. I never miss that one.
Laura Washington, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate you. And we've reached the end of another episode of Chicagoland. Special thanks to Laura Washington for making herself available for this episode.
And thank you to the Institute of Politics for allowing us to use their space for the interview.
Thanks to my friend Blake Daniels for the theme music.
This episode was produced and edited by me, Kyra Sturgill.
And me, Steve Crano, from the University of Chicago Public Policy Podcasts.
This is Chicagoland.